Hello students, welcome to this class. In this class we will study the significance of the result we have obtained in the last class, and we will study rotational energy levels of a diatomic molecule. You might have already studied in lower class that kinetic energy of rotation is given by half I omega square. This is just like the equation half m v square, kinetic energy in the case of linear motion. In rotational motion, this m will be replaced by I and velocity will be replaced by angular velocity. You might have also learned that angular momentum L of a rotating body is also given by I omega. It is just like a linear momentum P is equal to m into v. So m will be replaced by I and velocity will be replaced by omega to get a angular momentum of rotation. So this L square by 2I will be equal to I square omega square by 2I, which is equal to half I omega square, which is the rotational kinetic energy. We know that microparticles like atoms and molecules, they are obeying only quantum mechanics, not classical mechanics. According to quantum mechanics, the value of square of angular momentum L square is given by this expression. L square is equal to h cross square j into j plus 1, where j can take only integer values. The molecule cannot have any angular momentum, but only certain specified angular momentum, which is given by values of j, which are 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So substituting for L square, we get a rotational kinetic energy given by this expression, which may be written as b into j plus 1, where b is equal to h cross square by 2I. If you do not understand my discussions so far, you can directly write Ej is equal to b into j plus 1, where b is the rotational constant given by h cross square by 2I, where I is the moment of inertia of the diatomic molecule about an axis passing through the center of mass and perpendicular to line joining atoms. Now here j can take values only 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So for various values of j, we get a different energy levels. Energy is not continuous. So if you put a j equal to 0, then you will get a energy is equal to 0. The next energy comes when j is equal to 1. In that case, you will get E1, and it will be equal to 1 into 1 plus 1, that is 2b, that is this 2b. Next energy will be E2. E2 will be b into 2 into 2 plus 1, that is 2 into 3, so that is 6. So 6b. Next energy level will be 12b. So you can see those energy levels here. For j equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc., you will get a energy level 0, 2b, 6b, 12b, etc. Now the diatomic molecule can rotate with any of these energy. So if a molecule is rotating with 12b energy, it can go to a rotational state with a 6b energy by making a transition like this. In that case, the difference in energy will be radiated in the form of electromagnetic radiation, and its frequency h nu is given by E3 minus E2, that is 12b minus 6b. So you will get h nu is equal to 6b. According to rules of quantum mechanics, we can have only transition between adjacent energy levels only. That means this transition is not possible. So these are the only possible transitions. So in this particular case, the difference in energy is 2b. So h nu is equal to 2b. In this case, difference in energy level is 6 minus 2, that is 4b. And this energy difference is 6b. So here h nu is equal to 4b. H nu is equal to 2b. And here h nu is equal to 6b. So these are the values of h nu. So the frequencies are equally spaced. These emitted electromagnetic radiations can be studied using a spectrometer and frequencies can be determined. So from the value of frequency we can have the value of B, and B we know that it is h square by 2I, and I is equal to, we have already seen, it is mu r square. So bond length r can be calculated if we study the spectrum of the diatomic molecule. This spectrum is in the region of microwaves of electromagnetic radiation. So it is also called microwave spectra or rotational spectra of diatomic molecules.